Hey Facebook, it is way early in the morning over here in Jersey, and we haven't talked in a couple of days, so I figured I would jump in and say hi while I was out and about doing my thing. It's been interesting doing these vlogs. I have a feeling that it's impacting the data usage on my Verizon plan, because I just keep kind of uploading these as I go. Though I don't know, I have an 8 gigabyte plan and I don't really upload that much, so I don't know, I'll have to figure that out. But either way, if I have to increase my plan, I will. I like talking to you guys too much. So let's see, what have I been doing the last couple of days? So, 2017 has been off to a pretty good start. I've got a lot of stuff put away. I've got a lot of stuff dealt with. And I'm now really down to cutting down the number of projects that I'm really working on so that I can focus on the couple that I really care about and that I think are going to work out. So the vlog is definitely one of them. And I have another one that Production Dojo, which we've talked about. Now that's all video, and that's firing up in February. I have my first project lined up, though I'm not sure exactly how much of that. I may have to change projects. The intention for, I don't know, I got to think about that. The intention of Production Dojo is to show you the prototypes of products that I'm working on, and or show you projects that I'm kind of doing for fun. And the product prototype that I was thinking I would need to go to Production Dojo, show you me building that project over a month, and then seeing if there was interest in launching it as a like a Kickstarter project or getting an investment to do a small run. I've been talking about that project with a couple of companies and some people, getting ready to put it up on Production Dojo, and it turns out that that might not be the right step. That the one I've chosen to launch with is strong enough on its own that instead of sort of showing the internals that way, on this one, it may make sense to go ahead and pick another project to start with in February on Production Dojo, and go ahead and just move this item the next step into looking for some investment on that to get a small production run done. I have the prototype basically done, and it is the sort of thing where there might be some value in playing it a little closer to my chest than I had originally thought. And that may impact some of Production Dojo as a whole, in the sense that I may wind up moving away from showing start to end full-on project prototypes, and may work more on tools and techniques, show you how to build something that maybe I'm not necessarily thinking about turning into a product, but that might give you ideas on how to do something that you might want to turn into a product. An example of that would be, I think it would be cool to take a Xbox 360 or Xbox One Connect sensor, or the Intel RealSense sensors. These are cameras with sort of 3D lasers on them, and hook that up to a commercially available pan and tilt platform for DSLR, so that it kept you in frame no matter where you went, sort of like a stabilizer, but for indie films. Now that's the sort of thing that, it's a fun proof of concept. Going from there to full-on product would be a ton of work. So it would be the sort of thing where I would want to put that together and then gauge interest, and then let somebody else run with that idea if they want to build off it or whatever. It's an idea that I think would be a lot of fun, but not one that I think fits my pursuit right at the moment. Whereas this other thing I was going to lead off with is it's of a scale and of a type that I think I might be able to make it work on my own. So I don't know, I got to figure out how much of that to show ahead of time. What I will do if I do build that, even do that, is I'm going to keep all that. I'm still going to film the process and do the footage, and then what I'll do is release that as a Production Dojo video series out in February, March, April, May, maybe June, July-ish. Do other Production Dojo projects before that, and then release the video for this in July, once the product itself has moved a little further along. through whatever contract or investment stages it might be going through. So that makes sense to me. Other than that, I have one more sort of, I don't know, informational lifestyle brand project that I have in mind. And what I want to know from you guys is, does anybody still read blogs anymore, like text articles in blogs? I mean, I guess so, right? Huffington Post, Breitbart, a lot of these really a lot of the higher traffic sites in the world are still text-based. Like, you still go to an article and read it on your Kindle and print it out and show it to people and share it. And I guess there's something to that content, but I could focus that on, you know, writing articles about miscellaneous topics, you know, self-confidence, self-improvement, you know, kind of a little bit of the stuff that I talk about a little bit in my Instagram post. That's sort of, you know, talking about the ebb and flow of personal power in your life and motivation and so on. I can focus that on creating video content, or I can focus that on creating, you know, text content, actual web pages and blog, quote unquote, blog articles, and then use video as a kicker. So use video for PR, use the occasional video for promotion and to emphasize a point, but still have the core content of that site as text. So if you're watching this and you have a moment, I would love if you left a comment and just let me know what you thought. Do you still consume a significant amount of your input from text articles and posts and blogs, or has it moved on to video now, where most of your input is coming in the form of either videos like this, or, you know, super short form social media like a Facebook post, in which case, you know, blog entries is probably not going to be the right idea. I don't know. I have a feeling that, I mean, I really prefer the video format. I really prefer this kind of thing, but I still think at the end of the day, people like having long shelf life content in text, actually formatted well with decent typography, actually in a blog entry or a long form web article, and then, you know, that leaves you with that content that way suitable for books and so on later. So let me know what you think about that stuff as you get a little further along. Leave me a comment, hit me up on Messenger. Again, you can hit me on Facebook or Twitter, YouTube, etc., etc. All those places, I'm there. So that's kind of what today is about. My new box is up and running. I had to replace a graphics card. I still owe you guys the video for that. I'm editing away on doing a short video about the new machine. I also have been editing a little bit on the camera comparison video, but to be honest with you, my head just got sort of twisted up on these other projects because I'm constantly doing that. I'm thinking about, you know, something I can do, or I'll see something that triggers an idea of something I can do, and then I sort of run with that and figure out whether it's viable. And my thought is, you know, if I can figure out which ones are not viable and just get rid of those right away, I can clear out my mind, and that works. But when I do find the ones that are viable, I really have an urge to like just take a couple hours and knock it together and see if I can make that work. I did that yesterday. In addition to all my client work, in addition to all my development work, in addition to my teaching, I sort of knocked together Sunday into Monday a brand project, and then shot a bunch of that off to a VA so that they can start sort of doing some of the legwork on that. What I figure I'll do is invest 2 or 3 hours of VA time and let that soak and see if it starts picking up engagement, see if it starts picking up response. If it does, then I can pursue it. If not, I can let it go, and that wasn't my time that was being used that way. And that's really what VAs are all about. We are going to do an entire discussion like this about VAs. So yeah, I don't know. We got a lot to talk about this week, and I have a lot of other work to do. So it is going to be busy. All right, folks, I am where I need to be. I will talk to you later on, and thanks as always for sharing a little bit of time. I've been really enjoying talking to you guys. I don't know if you're getting anything out of it, but I certainly am getting something out of doing them. So I'm going to keep doing them whether you watch or not, but I would really prefer if you kept me company. And if you know any cool people who are doing video blogs that you think I would enjoy, go ahead and hit me up, and I am more than interested in watching other cool people. I learn a lot. They don't have to be doing anything in particular. It's not like it doesn't have to be, here's my blog of me repainting the Sistine Chapel or something. It could just be, hey, here's an interesting guy who's got some interesting ideas. That is certainly really what I am at the moment. Anyway, thanks a lot. I'll talk to you guys later.